evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor and a privilege to welcome you to this special occasion where we will recognize and celebrate the military service members, the extraordinary courage, the dedication, and sacrifices. Today, we gather to honor the brave men and women who've exemplified the highest standards of duty, commitment, and valor. Their actions embody our values of our United States Army, Navy, United States Air Force, Coast Guard, Merchant Marines, and they serve as an inspiration to all of us. I want to acknowledge the distinguished guests we have, the Director of Cascade Ministries, Diane Jackson, Reverend Paul Jackson, Chief Warrant Officer C3, Hobson Hamilton, Chloe Lewis, and Reverend Paul Jackson. Thank you for being here and especially enjoying the best weather we've had in Akron, Ohio outside. This award symbolizes and acknowledges the dedicated service and outstanding to service in military life, their bravery in the face of danger, and exceptional leadership. It is my honor to announce the recipient of Elder Jimmy Lee Rogers, serving during the Army and Korean War. Elder Jimmy Lee Rogers was born on Saturday, July 19, 1930, in Toluca, Alabama. Mr. John Percy and missionary Anthony Marion Rogers, as the eight of the 10 children in his family, he possessed a distinguished character, nicknamed Big Red. During youth, and due to his hair and a reddish complexion, he was often found laboring in the fields alongside his father and his 6 brothers. Additionally, he enjoyed cooking and cleaning with his mother and the 4 sisters. As Jimmy advanced through life, he took on various odd jobs in the rural community, including mussling for freshwater clams and fishing in the Tennessee River and working at a convenience store. After completing his 9th grade, he chose to continue sharecropping with his father and siblings before enlisting in the United States Army. As a machine gunner and during his service in the Korean War, his most significant contribution was saving the life of his commanding officer. He had been injured in combat. Often referred to as the Forgotten War, this conflict is frequently overshadowed by World War II and the South Korean War in June 25th that ended in 1950. His conclusion of the war in July 1953, an estimated 5 million soldiers and civilians had lost their lives, including over 700 from Alabama. During this conflict, Jimmy captured and became a prisoner of war. However, due to his physical stature, the enemy soldiers had released him. Taking advantage of the chaos caused by bomb flares, he managed to escape back to safety and quietly returned to fight. Upon his return home in 1953, he was honored with a parade in his hometown celebrating his exceptional soldier. The most challenging moment in his life occurred when his mother, struggling to breathe, summoned him to the back porch of their residence. He promptly carried her into the bedroom where she passed away in his arms. After the burial of his mother, Jimmy relocated to Akron, Ohio, where he found employment in the Ford Motor Company. During the period, Mr. Rogers was married to the late Barbara Lee Hooks Rogers from Madison County, Alabama, and they were blessed with 2 children, Eddie Lee and Gloria Jean Rogers. While residing in Akron, Jimmy was a devoted member of the Greater Bickle Baptist Church, initially under the guidance of the late Reverend Dr. Gordon Humphrey, Sr., and later under the late Reverend Dr. Williams K. Hawkins, Sr., serving as a faithful trustee of the church, he received the heartbreaking news that his wife, after many years of marriage, had cancer and would not be able to continue the journey. Following her passing, he introduced to love of his life, Donnell Hawkins, by his pastor father-in-law, and the union brought forth 3 children, Jimmy K., Dominique M., and Chloe S. Rogers. After dedicating 40 years of service, Mr. Rogers retired from the Ford Motor Company in 1995, becoming an instant stay-at-home dad to his 3 children. He imparted the wisdom and gained from his childhood in Alabama to them, taking on roles such as cooking, cleaning, and serving, and providing an unwavering support to his wife. He worked as an educator in the Akron Public Schools. If you notice, Mr. Rogers gave a life that most of us have the opportunity to still do. We look at our children and we try to impart the wisdom that we've got, making sure that they have a better life, not just in details and not just in toys, but a wisdom to look at life, enjoy life, and then get an education and pass on to the next generation where we'll have to have better citizens. Thank you, Mr. Rogers. On behalf of the Family Acceptance Award, Ms. Chloe Lewis, would you come forward? And I need a plaque, please.
Thank you for your service, Jimmy Rogers, Korean War Army veteran, presented by Cascade Community Development Incorporated, December 28th, 2024.
And on behalf of the Veterans Service Commission, I want to present you also with the certificate that comes from them. Okay.
Thank you.
It's a great honor to announce that the recipient of Robert Adair served in the Army and Navy in World War II. Step forward, please.
Thank you for your service, Robert Adair, World War II Army veteran, presented by Cascade Community Development Incorporated, December 28th, 2024.
My wife, Diane Jackson, the director of Cascade Community Development, and I, her supporter and transporter, are honored to present these tokens of recognition. This certificate is provided by the Veterans Services Commission of Summit County. The plaque is presented by Mrs. Diane Jackson, director of Cascade Community Development. We present these tokens to our dear friend, Mrs. Lolita Adair, in loving memory of her late husband, Robert Adair, of whom she affectionately calls Bob. And if she were here today, she would say thank you, thank you, thank you.
This award is given also by the Veteran Service Commission that Reverend Jackson just read. A little bit about Robert Adair. He first of all went into the service and went into the Navy, and because of an injury on his eye, he was not able to complete his service and they discharged him. He then joined the Army, and then he served in World War II. Again, he was overshadowed by some of the other Korean Wars and other people. He also, when he returned to Akron, he found that the service life itself and the things that he fought for were not experienced in this country. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he had tried to do a number of things. It was pushed back, but with his diligence, he was able to complete all the tasks, get married, and he married a lovely lady, Lolita Adair, and took care of her all of his life, a dedicated person to her. And it's appreciative to see someone today still feeling that they will take care of their parents or their family or their wives for a long-term time. Thank you.
Amen.
You all can go back if you wish.
Okay.
As we speak of our own history and we speak of you and the folks that came to receive these awards, I want them to take back this. These values that we have dedicated our lives to serve in this United States Air Force or the Army or the Navy, we dedicated long lives to protect you. It's up to you to carry on whatever you can, that type of dedication, and also look at those folks that you see them that's in uniform or hats, always say, thank you for your service. But the answer is, that was for you. That's what's important. Always, and I mean that, I say it 3 times, give your family the best that you can while you're here. You will not have that opportunity when you're long gone. And when you honor a service person, they appreciate it, especially us. We've served in more wars and more detailed stuff rather than wars. I remember in 1947 when they declared Air Force and it was no longer segregated. Some of us moved from the kitchen to aircraft the first time. If you've never seen the ladies who also did the mail services, the 6668, take a look at that movie. It's very worthwhile to look. That's the type of dedication we've done with any task. We built this country, feel proud that we did. I want to conclude this ceremony, although we had to do it outside. I appreciate all of you coming. The dedications you've shown, even showing up today, as well as standing in the cold. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.